Okay, so I'm back with my first video since the finals really even started. To be honest, I made a lot of videos more recently than I normally would make. I kept trying to do some videos about the finals again, but I was kind of bored with them. Most of them were going to be me saying I'm right about certain things and why people were wrong to doubt me on certain things, but like, it's really not the point of this. The point of these videos are literally to bring forward what I think, and I'm either proven wrong by time or you see the results. Because most of the time I'm talking about something that's actually happening. But instead, since we're in the off season, I thought I was going to talk about something that I'm actually knowledgeable about, because I'm not about to talk about the drafts. I have no idea how the draft works. I mean, I do, but like, not really. I don't follow prospects in college. I don't really care about them until they enter the league. Last year when they hyped up Cade, I was like, that's cool, man. I hope Cade's that guy for Detroit. But I don't know. We got a really solid guy in Mobley for the Cavs, but like, that's cool. I'm excited to see how the guy we picked this year develops. But yeah. Come a little closer. Alright. So, who am I going to be putting in today? It's my top 10 video. We are going to do this as simply as possible, right? Everyone in the top 10, for the most part, I do consider them to have the potential to be the number one on the championship team, because I think there's only really about 10 superstars in the league. The bottom three I'm iffy on, okay? And by the way, I'm doing this off the dome. I'm not actually pulling up a list. I'm going to first name off some names, and then I'll put them in order, okay? I'm gonna have my fingers out so I can make sure it's 10. You know, it's crazy counting. Steph, Giannis, Luka, okay, Jokic, Embiid, KD, and I'm gonna forget somebody and someone's gonna get really mad. LeBron, Jimmy Butler. I already feel like I'm forgetting someone. I already feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Tatum has to make the list. Probably. That final series was bad. I don't consider him a superstar, but he has to make the list. So let me go back over what I had. I have Steph, Giannis, Luka, Jokic, Embiid. I have KD, Braun. I got Tatum, Butler. I'm missing one player. I need one more player on this list. This is really weird because normally, like, the consensus would be easier, but a lot of guys either just like didn't show up in the playoffs. They were pretty bad in the playoffs. They didn't make the playoffs in LeBron's case. I mean, that was a shit show in LA, but I still think he's a top 10 player in the league. I don't see why there's a reason for me to not believe that. Probably gotta just have to put him lowest of any of the players on the list, to be quite honest. But yeah, I don't really. I really need to think about the last person before I like just throw them into the list willy nilly. I don't wanna. Ooh, man, I'm a. I really don't even know. This is no. See, if I had a co-host, someone would be telling me right now, "Yo, you missing this guy or you forgetting this guy," right? Honestly, this gonna sound crazy, but I'm gonna have to go with Ja. As crazy as it may seem, Ja might be a top 10 player already. Because I'm just looking at the playoff teams right now, and the only guy that's on this list that didn't make the playoffs is Braun. So, and that's LeBron. So we're not gonna. I don't think many people would be mad that I still have LeBron in the top 10. I'm looking at the rest of the playoff teams. The guys, the leader on the playoff team. There's 16 of them in total. I already named the Warriors guy. I named the Celtics guy. I named the Nets guy, even though I don't really think he should be like too high on the top 10 anymore. So that was crazy. I named the Heat's guy. I named the Sixers guy. I did not name the Raptors guy. The Raptors are a team. The Raptors are team basketball. Let's like the Grizzlies are also team basketball, but like no one on the Raptors is clearly like top 10. I think Siakam is a top 15-esque talent in the league, but like I don't really think he's top 10. Shoot, this list is crazy. I named the Mavs guy. Obviously I already said the Warriors, I already said the Grizz. Nobody on the Suns deserves to be on this list. Not after that Game 7. No. The Pelicans made the playoffs, but no. Paul George didn't play enough games for me. Like, Paul George was really nice last year, but like he did not play enough games for me to be like, yeah, you're that guy. Like, Atlanta did make the playoffs, but there's no way in hell you're telling me Trae Young is that guy when he couldn't get this team into the play-in without like that crazy thing, and nobody on the Cavs who actually got knocked out of the play-in deserves to be there. Those are no LaMelo Balls, all the other ones. So those are the names. Those are the names you got. All right. Dang, we're 6 minutes into the video. I'm actually gonna have to talk about the order now. Okay, I'm gonna be real. Superstar, again, number 1 on the championship team. I either have to see you already do it, or there's really reason I can actually believe you can do it. I'm shaky on some other guys. Like I'm shaky on Embiid being the number 1 in the championship team, but like honestly, I still really believe he can do it. Tatum and Embiid are similar in the tiers of can they be the number 1 on a championship team? I'm not really sure because both of them. Well, Tatum's made it to the finals. Tatum shit the bed in finals. I don't even think the Sixers have made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. But like, nah, Embiid has been really unlucky, and then his co-star hasn't shown up when he has shown up, which is crazy. But let's actually talk about the list. Steph Curry just came out for being the championship, so you might think that this is crazy what I'm about to say. I still believe that Giannis is the best player, and I still believe that Curry can also be the best player at the same time, which is why for the first time ever in any of my top 10 lists that I've ever made, and I'm gonna get my pencil and paper here. I have Steph and Giannis as 1A and 1B. You can debate about whoever you want as 1A and 1B. I'm putting Giannis at 1B and then Steph at 1A. That'll flip-flop throughout the season. I really don't care. So those are my guys that won. Those are my 1 guys. Like those are the ones that are either the best player on the planet or the second best player on the planet. It really depends how you care, but I don't. All right. The third guy, I think the third guy is clearly Luka. I don't really have to explain it. You saw the playoffs. You saw that he beat us to the Western Conference Finals. We never had him beating. I didn't have him beating the Suns. I never thought they would melt down like that. But the way they beat them was not just the Suns had a critical meltdown. Like no, the like Luka actually just like he did it. That shouldn't have even. Many people didn't even believe it was possible. I didn't believe that he could bring those guys in Dallas to the Western Conference Finals, and for him to be in his 4th season, going into his 5th, that's crazy. Who thought he would be there? Not me. You could have easily told me that team was a 1st-round exit if you really wanted me to believe it. Oh yeah, and I didn't list a guy on the Utah Jazz because, well, Mitchell didn't have a great playoff series, and really Mitchell's argument for being in the top 10 most of the time is he shows up in the playoffs and how he performed in the playoffs, but he didn't, and he got knocked out in the 1st round again. Okay, it's Luka, the reigning MVP, back-to-back. Jokic is 4. I'm like, it's like, I think that more naturally that a guard is going to have to like If Jokic had more help, I could see him being higher. Again, all of the guys that are right here, to be honest, Steph beat Luka in the series. That's why he's 1A. Steph beat Jokic in the series. That's why he's 1A. All right. Reigning back-to-back MVP. He had a great performance in the playoffs. He didn't underperform. I just think Luka played better overall in the playoffs, and he made it further. They still lost to the same opponent, to be honest. Pretty sure both of them got bounced in 6. I think maybe Jokic lost in 5, but like, hey man, no one could have predicted Poole would show up like that. No one could have predicted all these games. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, this might be controversial. I think Wiggins should be sitting outside of the top 10 right now. Like, just like a little bit out of the top 10, maybe like 11. So similar to how I have certain guys that are sitting out of 11 in my like top 10 all time, and I'm just like, it's not crazy to have them in a conversation. I don't, but then again, I really don't want to hear the argument. Oh, Steph had a top 10 player in the no. It's when the lights shine brightest. He showed up, and that was important. He was the second best guy on the championship team. Honestly, Brown, if Tatum and Brown won the finals, that would have been the same situation for them. I would have Brown slightly out of the top 10 as well. Tatum had a great playoffs, but he did not have a great finals. Again, I have the list about when you showed up the most, but if Tatum made the finals. Like, what do you want me to say? He was the best player on that. He was the best player in that team up until he made it to up until when he played in the finals, and then Brown was the better player. But like, consistently, I've said that Tatum is just a little bit better than him, right? I've never said that. Like, I would say Brown is better than him on certain nights on a game-to-game basis. I never really believed that for 100% of the season that Brown was just straight up better than him. Most of the time, I'm literally going to be like, oh, Tatum's slightly better than him tonight. Or Brown plays better than him. I'm like, already he had a better game than Tatum, but I don't think he's that much better than Tatum. I feel like I forwarded this, right? Okay, so we can actually get to the 5th person on this list for finally. I feel like I slot Embiid here. Feel like no one will be upset with that. Like, Embiid being at a cool 5, it's not too bad. Again, he showed up in the playoffs. He had a great run. Harden did not show up for him. That's what it is. Right? It is what it is. I spelled it wrong, but you can't see what I'm writing anyway. I think the next person on the list actually has to be Jimmy Butler. For consistency's sake, by the way. LeBron. Like, it's not really much more than needs to be said about LeBron, but like, I don't. This year is really hard to like rank your players because, like, honestly, I don't really give a fuck where you put them on the list. The only people that I'm a stickler for you putting on the list at a certain place is Steph and Giannis. And I've already told you that I have a 1A, 1B type system, and you could honestly argue that they're both tied for 2. You could argue that Luke is better than them. You could argue that all of this other stuff. I personally only have those 2 as my concrete ones. Luka being 3 is just like, I don't know where else to fucking put him. He has to be there. As long as your first 3 players consist of those 3 players, I really don't care what the rest of your top 10 looks like. You could tell me fucking Tatum is there. I wouldn't agree with you, but yeah. We're 14 minutes into the video, and I've only written down the first 5 names. Absolutely crazy. But I'm gonna put LeBron here. Again, it's my list, and this is really like a tier. They're all in the same tier of guys. They're not like, none of them is individually better than the other one. All right. To be quite honest, it's like, who cares? Tatum. And I'm going to have him tied with Jimmy Butler. I think Jimmy's better, but a lot of people think Tatum's better. So, again, it's my list, but like, I really don't see the difference in them that much. I think Jimmy's defense is better than Tatum's by a slight amount, and that I think Tatum is a better offensive player than Jimmy. Like, he's more versatile on offense, but like, it's not by that much. It's not by that much on both ways. So that's how many names here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, damn. Oh I forgot. I just Katie. Okay, look. Katie had a massive meltdown. And again, this is exactly why I'm saying that you can have these players in any order you want. Katie is here. Alright? Honestly, as long as you have Tatum and Jimmy tied for me, I really don't care where you put KD or the rest of the people. And then we're just going to put Ja at the end of the list, and we're done. I will not be taking any questions about Ja Morant. I could not think of another player for the life of me that deserved to be on this top 10. And if you wanted to argue that it's either Jaylen Brown or Andrew Wiggins or one of the other guys who made it, who were really impressive in the finals run, cool, man. That's great. You do that. And by the way, when you're a top 10 player in the league, in any other year, a top 10 player in the league would not even have anything close to do with Siakam or Andrew Wiggins. But since we're clearly going crazy right now, and I don't know what's going on in the league. And there's so much parity. There's a lot of these older guys are starting to fall, and a lot of these younger guys are starting to rise. The generational shift is happening right now, honestly. Like, at the end of this season, Zion could be a top 10 player in the league. At the end of this season, Kawhi could come back and be one of those guys. And normally Kawhi would be on this list, but Kawhi did not play last season, so Paul George would have been on the list too if he played the entire season. There's so many factors that go into making the top 10, and I really don't have time to get into all that, but it's been 16 minutes. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you didn't enjoy the video, I'm going to need you to like it anyway because no one can see your dislikes. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the channel. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do in this situation. But, like, anyway, I've rambled on for about, like, 17 minutes. Have a good one, or not. I really don't care. My top 10 is better than yours anyway, so bye.